global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our channel. A lot of news lined up for you. Very quickly I'm going to roll them out, but before we do this, kindly subscribe to our channel, like, share, and also subscribe, comment. Right now as we speak, we're looking at Peter Obi, whose birthday is coming very soon, and the Obidient are making strides, making very powerful moves over his birthday, and also impartation. He choke a lot of activities lined up. To begin with, they have started with something very huge for the Obidient. You're going to find out in a moment. And also, it looks as if the resignation of Atiku is not sitting well with Nyesom Wike. He couldn't help but mention it. You're going to get to see why Nyesom Wike is literally crying out over the resignation of Atiku Abubakar. Well, meanwhile, while he is screaming and shouting, of course, we're going to give you some of the series of these videos, while he's screaming and shouting about resignation of some persons or who believe that the umbilical cord is tied to being a president of Nigeria since 1999. You see also pensioners, workers of rivers indigenous pensioners praying to God, asking the Lord to intervene. Because as we speak, they have not received their pension. They've not received their pension and they've been praying to God for God's divine intervention. Despite the fact that funds have been released since July 2nd, but they're yet to get their pension and they're wondering, when will God hear their prayer? They've gone into the prayer mode and they said after this prayer mode, if nothing comes up or if nothing happens, they may likely be hitting the street. Old men, after giving their active years, the active service, meritorious service, now they're giving them excuses to be paid for all the activities, their glory days given to their country, their fatherland, their state. How about we could do better as a nation? Let's watch some of these videos. Of course, we'll come back for more on Peter Obi's matter.
One man whose business has been from 1999, I'm in this party. 2006, I'm in this party. 2014, I'm in this party. 2019, I'm in the other party. Now 2025, I'm in another coalition. The boy you born coalition. Morale, nobody gets it moral like we get. Morale, nobody gets it moral like we get.
Alright, welcome back. You've seen the pictures of the videos, but right now the Obidient have decided to do a big one, and right now as we speak, Batified movements are getting worked up. They are getting all angry. The Obidient movement have unanimously agreed, some of them though, to buy a large expanse of land, and they are about to build a vocational empire, a vocational building to empower the Obidient nationwide. But it's going to start with this location I see right now, and they're looking at logistics and all, and so that Obidient who wants a new Nigeria possible should register ahead of 2027, ahead of the birthday, and get ready for impactful life. You need to learn some skill. The poverty level, the unemployment rate is really super high, and something has to give. And the best way to pull out Nigerians out of poverty is actually to provide some level of employment, no matter how small. And they have decided to, have some sort of vocational building, vocational training school where you learn one trade or the other. Of course, they're going to give us full details as more info keeps emerging. But the unique thing about it is that some Batified movements, supporters of BAT are saying that what kind of rubbish is this? If it is, if you want to do good to all. what is all this thing about Obidient movement? It's not just why don't you just do it for the whole community? What is Obidient movement? Open it if it is for vocation, it's for learning of a skill or a trade or whatever. Open it up. Let all Nigerians, it's everybody that is saying this shege. Are they saying that their principal is giving us shege? But my colleague is in the house. What's her take on this very powerful move? Don't forget, as we speak right now in Rivers State, as we speak, they've started on behalf or on the name or on the mandate of Peter Obi. They've started giving free medical care, free medical services for those who want some kind of a medical test and all that, all for ahead of Peter Obi's birthday. No be Peter Obi they drop the no be Peter Obi they drop the money. These are Nigerians, well-many Nigerians who have decided to reach out. Instead of giving birthday presents to Peter Obi, because Peter Obi is used to always giving to the people, to the society, and has mandated those who would like to give many birthday to also reach out to the society, and that's exactly what they are doing. What's your take on what the Batified movement are saying? Do you agree with him that this is waste of money and resources, and that if they want to help, they should help all and not just one set of people who are the obedient?
Now, personally, I think that what the Obidient are doing anytime it gets close to Peter Obi's birthday points to one direction. That direction is what will happen in a larger scale if Peter Obi assumes the position of a president.
So every birthday will be...
Not really the birthday issue I'm looking at. They are trying to recognize him and making the world to recognize him. Now imagine if he becomes the president today. Naira naturally will jump. Investors would just come into the country. His presence announced something very unbelievable. I don't want to use the word mysterious, but something that surrounds, announced light. Let me use that word, announced light, announced joy, announced happiness. Even the component that makes up Nigeria as a country will react if Peter Obi becomes the president today, pointing to the right direction. Naturally, some persons would take a flight out of the country because they know that their criminality has ended. A lot of people who are, even if it's not totally exterminated, we know that it will be reduced. A lot of people will now begin to come back. Criminals will start screaming because we know if this guy picks up a project, he will follow it to the very end. This is, for me, this is what it is communicating. And I just feel, some people say social media noise and all of that. Why can't we just give this guy an opportunity? There's something about him. Now, for example, we look through the only time that this kind of thing happened was, the first democratic election that took place in 1993, talking about MKO Abiola. That was when something that, but it wasn't even like this. This one is so legit, so I'm talking about his followers. They are not being awoken by money. For the first time, you see, followers spending money for the person that they follow. I've never seen it in the history of Nigeria. There is no time they say Atiku Abubakar is coming to so place. His own people will say, okay, let us spend money and bring this and that and that. Atiku has been celebrating birthday. Nobody does such a thing. Let's say that Bola Tinubu celebrate, Wike celebrate, name them. All the big politicians that you've ever heard and talk about, they celebrate birthday. Instead, people are looking at their hand, Ogago drop today and all of that. But Peter Obi will celebrate. People will, on behalf of him. None of those so-called big boys have I ever seen a pre-birthday celebrations for them. I'm talking about something that people hit the street and start as at yesterday, which was just 17, his birthday, or which is 16. His birthday is on the 19th. But as at 16, 17, medical services, NTA was there to witness it. Who is giving this thing? They opened up. This is something that should point Nigerians to one reality that we are about to face if we all cooperate to make this man come in. There's something about him. I can assure you that without doing anything, now as they just announced that he had resumed as the president of Nigeria, or he has won election, Nigerian money will be shocked that it will move to 1.1. And then by the time he will bring in his skill and bring in technocrats who will work with him, investors will naturally come in. It's not something that we will go and be begging them. Peter Obi has won. People will relocate from US and return back to Nigeria, preparing the ground for the kickoff of their businesses and all of that. These criminals, they know. And that's why they're fighting it. They don't want that to happen. So let's just be expecting that something good will happen.
But what do you think about this issue of Batify saying that this vocational building that Obidient wants to build, shouldn't it be for all Nigerians? Are we not all seeing this shaggy?
No, they are trying to send a message to them. That if you want to be a part of this, why not support us? If you guys are lacking and your boss cannot do this for you guys, come together. But Timo has been doing the little he can. I know a lot of people are frustrating it. But however, Peter Obi
is more energetic.
That will be running around, checking things up. That's what we want. I mean, for example, Timo has been able to push around to give loans to students, which is very commendable and all of that. But the ability to checkmate those things are not there because this is an old man. This is not when he was a young guy. But Peter Obi will run around and check you up. He doesn't mind to have meeting throughout the night. And the next morning he's running somewhere else. Do you understand?
All right, that's going to wrap it up. Let's meet in that conversation.